We are not worthy. We are so not worthy. Welcome back to the Chelsea FanCast. I am Stanford Chidge. I've got Darren in the house, I've got Pablo in the house, and I've got the fantastic Neil Spy Barnett, and of course the lovely benches who you've just heard. And we are now going to do our weekly awards, which we like to call the Fannies. Don't ask us why. Anyway, man of the match first, Darren. On my short list, I'm not going to tell you what's on my short list. I'm going to actually ask Pablo what he thinks the man of the match was. If you don't have them on my list, I'm going to kill you because I've got photos.
It's a difficult one, to be honest. I think I'd be slightly hypocritical in saying I wouldn't go for Bar. You hypocritical,
Pablo? Never.
Given that I gave man of the match to Torres for 45 minutes last week, I can't really give Bar. I can't then discount Bar for this week, but I'm going to. You're gonna go for Bar, right? No, I'm going to. You're not going to go for discount him. So I think probably
he hit it.
Yeah, probably Oscar.
You are going to go for Oscar.
Yeah.
Why are you going to go for Oscar?
I think a lot went through him. I mean, he kind of disappeared in the period between basically much of the second half until they started going for the game. But I think ultimately a lot went through him. Really, I think Ramirez had a decent game again.
You're going to go for Oscar.
Yeah,
fair enough. Darren, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about
pluck one out of the air.
I was thinking about Bar, but then I do actually agree with Pablo, and I think it would mainly be because we don't really expect that much of him, and he was holding the ball up well, and he was actually getting involved, that you sort of notice it more when he wasn't really actually. He didn't play brilliantly, but he just played better than he usually does. So yeah. I don't know.
You go for Oscar too.
I don't know. I did actually look at your list. I do like your last choice, but I'll let you say that one.
Okay, so that's my special one. Oh, see what I've done there. You're going to go for Oscar. All right, so that's 2 for Oscar. Neil, you're man of the match, and you're not allowed to ruin my gag at the end.
You just made it.
Well, that's true. I can make it again.
Although they might have done better on the goal, David Luiz and Terry just tied up the game absolutely beautifully again. First of all, I want to say that. Do you have a worst performer on the pitch? Right, the worst performer on the pitch by a
only
mile
for you we do
was the pitch.
Oh, really?
And nobody really talked about this apart from Jose and me on Chelsea TV afterwards. It was that they hadn't cut the grass, they hadn't watered it, it was really slow, and if you've got the chance to see the game again, just watch the first 3 minutes, because what happens is David Luiz tries to get the game moving, plays a couple of strong low balls forward early on. Mourinho had been saying the first minute is really important, the tempo is really important, and they didn't travel across the grass. They were held up, and the possession was lost both times. Lampard saw this, and he hit his first ball over the top, and Bar caused havoc, but they managed to clear it. He had his second ball over the top, and we scored. So in terms of who affected the game early on, Lampard. Now, I think, just dropping my name again, Barry Bridges was saying...
Was he playing?
No, but
he can't be man of the match.
He was in the crowd, because I got him a ticket. He was in the crowd, and he said that people don't give Frank Lampard enough recognition for being so intelligent. And he says, whenever there's things going on around him, he's looking around. He's 3 moves ahead, so when the ball comes to him, he knows what he wants to do. Ramirez has been playing much better this season, but he gave the ball away far too much again, which was one of our problems.
You're going to go through the whole team?
So I'm going to go David Luiz, Terry, Lampard. Oscar scored the first goal, and his pass made the second goal. In the end, he probably has to edge it.
I'm making that 3 out of 3. All right. Well, I have to say, fair enough, because I actually probably would vote for Oscar. But I do think that Willian needs a shout, because I thought that Willian, he came on, he made an impact. I mean, I wouldn't call that an assist for the Hazard goal, but I think he was quite instrumental in helping that one along. That goal was a worldie, which kind of game over for us. So I think he definitely deserves a shout. I think, to be controversial, I think Jose Mourinho deserves a shout here, because I really do think that his will to win and his creative use of the substitutes and having the cojones, which is not on the list, to make those subs and play tactically the way he did was instrumental in us winning that match.
Can we just point out, everyone says, he changed to 3 at the back. But after we scored, he changed to 4 at the back.
Yes, he did.
And he put Schürrle left back.
Didn't he? Yes. We did mention that, but you weren't here when we did.
Oh, really?
Okay, but no, it's a very valid point, I think. I really do think he deserves a shout, but to be fair, I'm going to go for Oscar. Very quickly, benches, would you agree with that?
Most people have gone for Oscar on Mixlr. Yeah, quite
Good.
a lot of them.
I'm happy with that. Okay, fair enough. Then we're not completely bonkers. So 4 out of 4. That's unanimous, Darren. We don't often get that, do we?
Yeah.
However,
There's a however.
I want to bring Oscar up again against Stour.
We will. Well, you can talk about that when we talk about Stour. But now we have to do something that I know you love, Neil. Chant of the match. Yes. Now, okay, there was some really good chants.
15 minutes of it.
I know, it's got to be the one, isn't it?
And for those again, I don't even know if it's gone out yet. After the game, I placed Willian in front of the Chelsea TV camera. I put my arm around him. I placed David Luiz placed himself behind the camera.
Did he do like that?
I recited,
he likes doing a bit of that, doesn't he, Luiz?
I recited the whole chant.
Did you?
And David Luiz translated it, interpreted it for him, and he was in hysterics. He had
But
no idea it was about him.
Well, that's
at all.
interesting because
And
we
loved it.
heard that he did know about
No.
it because he favourited the YouTube clip of it.
He might not have understood it. He might have
on
just
Instagram.
found his name was in the song and
But
liked it.
We know we're really good mates with the guys who basically invented that song out in Prague. Walter Otten.
Some of us were there when they got off the minibus and started singing it for the first time.
So we know the guys who've got that, and it's lovely that we were talking to a few people before the show about the song, and they were saying it's so nice to have a really good, decent Chelsea song for a change because we've been struggling for a few, I think, recently. I mean, we had the We Don't Care About Rafa last year, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but
that was nicked.
it was, but this is absolutely original, and it's lovely to see, isn't it, or hear.
It's brilliant.
All right, well, I think that's a shoo-in. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. I think it's going to win it. But I think honourable mentions should go for Jose Mourinho again. I heard that loud and clear on the old goggle box.
Yeah, I mean, there was the outstanding one from 2005, which is resurrected every time we go there.
We've got Abramovich. You've got a crazy, not very nice lady.
Yeah, is that word on there?
Well, I don't know.
We've given him 2 lots as well.
I know. Well, I'm hedging my bets. Don't say it.
Okay.
Female dog.
Yeah.
There we go. We know what we're talking about. One of my favourite chants in the old days was there was one about Delia's pies and Gordon Ramsay. That's right. We all started singing One Gordon Ramsay. Do you remember that?
No, but I do remember Down with the Souffle. You're going down with
the
the
souffle.
That was again
Right.
2005,
which is possibly the best Chelsea. I would be shortlisted for the best Chelsea chant ever for me. But.
I did get. There was an honourable mention that somebody. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but I'm going to anyway. 3 toes. You've only got 3 toes. Yeah, am I allowed to say that? I think so. Well, I just have. Now what? What do you reckon, Benches? Got any favourites from yesterday?
There's no surprises really. It's all love for the Willian song. Daniel Klassen agrees. Terry Fisk likes your 3 Toes song. Stanford Grinch again. He's loving the Willian song. So on Mixlr.
They've just called you Neil Spy Barnett on there. You're famous now. Sorry, I had to point that out.
Have I got the Wayne Rooney hair treatment going as well?
Move your head a bit when you're speaking, Chad.
And your eyebrows.
There we go. That's more like it. What does Willian think of the Willian song?
I don't know. I never heard it.
You've never heard it?
No.
Oh, well, just for you, because I knew you were coming on the show tonight, we've got a very, very special treat for you. I think we've actually got some footage of the Chelsea choir singing the Willian song at Norwich yesterday, I think. Can we see that?
He got the call from Abramovich, and off he went to Stamford Bridge. He ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, man, he ain't Southern. He got his rights, for real I am. He saw the light, he got the call from Abramovich, and off he went to Stamford Bridge. He ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, man, he ain't Southern. He got his rights, for real I am. He saw the light, he got the call from Abramovich, and off he went to Stamford Bridge. He ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, man, he ain't Southern. He got his light, for real I am. He saw the light, he got the call from Abramovich, and off he went to Stamford Bridge. He ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, man, he ain't Southern. He got his light, for real I am. He saw the light, he got the call from Abramovich, and off he went to Stamford Bridge. He ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, he ain't Southern, man, he ain't Southern.
Can I
go on,
just
Neil,
say,
you're loving that, aren't you?
no, the bleep was in the wrong place. It should have been over Spurs.
It should have been. That's a very good point. We're loving. By the way, we're loving the beep because we've obviously got a problem with the fact that most Chelsea songs have got a swear word in them, and when dear most, well, okay, all apart from Chelsea, we can't play that every week because it would get a bit dull.
The blue flag flying
the blue flag flying out. That's very good. But dear old Greg, the producer in the gallery, we were thinking, well, what are we going to do? And I said, well, just chuck in an air horn whenever we say a rude word, and that has become my favourite bit of the show, I think. But I do love that song. It is brilliant. Well done, Walter. Well done, Smithy. But also, well done, the lad who took that, and we ripped that off YouTube. I hope you don't mind. But next time you film in the ground. Look, right, iPhone, don't film it like that. Film it like that. Film it like that. All right? It's not hard. All right? Anyway, now, talking of which, if you are at the stadium or even better in the pub before or after a game and you see something funny or there's a great chant going on, film it on your mobile, on your iPhone, properly, like that. And then send it in to us, chelseafancast@gmail.com, and we will try and run it on the show and educate the masses as to how brilliant Chelsea are at singing chants. So there we go. Now, enough of that. I'm so glad that won. I do love that song, Darren. Right.
Did you actually vote it?
We did. It was a shoe-in.
It was, I know, but you just didn't ask, but it was a shoe-in.
It was a shoe-in.
The other thing with the Mourinho chant is eventually he gave a bit of a wave after we scored 3.
Yeah, but he was like saying
and he
players
pointed
again.
straight to the players as he does.
Right, okay, look, we've got Guinness moment and we've got celery moment coming up. Guinness moment first. I'm going to run through what my nominations are.
What is the Guinness moment?
Guinness moment is a moment, a bit like, in Test Match Special, they do a champagne moment for something of supreme skill. We've adapted it to Guinness because we like to drink Guinness.
Why
really,
haven't we got any?
because it's pre-watershed. We can talk about it, but you're only allowed to drink Iron Brew without the label. Otherwise, you can't. Or water, in fact, actually, which is pretty poor. But the bottom line is a Guinness moment is a moment where you are so moved by the skill that you kind of go, oh, as you do.
There's only one.
Exactly. Well, I think there are several, actually, in my humble opinion, but I would run through them as this. I thought Oscar's goal was superb. I thought the way he bent it in, to the corner, away from Ruddy, absolutely supreme skill. Technically, really difficult to do, and I definitely went, whoa, when it went in. I also thought that a lovely bit of play between Cole Matter and Oscar in the corner. Unfortunately, Oscar then hoofed it over the bar, which kind of ruined it a bit for me. But I did like that.
Brilliant pass by Ashley Cole, because Oscar was the
wasn't it?
nearest player to him, but by passing it beyond him to Matter, he opened play up, and then Matter could play it in first time to Oscar. Brilliant by
Did like that. I thought it was a lovely bit of play. I thought that the Willian goal, what a worldie. It was just, to bend it in like he did. You said it yourself, very Robin-like. I loved that. What an introduction to playing for Chelsea. We love all that. I also thought an honourable mention, although this is, this has got an element of celery about it as well. But I thought David Luiz from the halfway line. That is David Luiz all over. To have the temerity, you call it self-indulgence. That's what I want to pay money to see. Some mad Brazilian geezer with curly hair lumping the ball from. Actually, he was in our half, let alone the halfway line. And mate, he missed that by a small margin.
It was particularly good because it was basically pretty much a 50-50 as well. There was someone else coming for the ball, and
I love that. So
I'd like to add two more.
You can add as many as you like.
You mentioned the Willian header in the build-up to the goal. It was actually a double header, of course, but it was preceded by the Hazard header.
Yes.
So we won 3 headers with midgets. So that was one.
I like that.
And another one, which you won't be so aware of, is that me and a number of other people as well run a league of press room hospitality, so that Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City and Aston Villa, would you believe, are Champions League, and Norwich, despite Delia, are relegation. And this year they had a kind of breakfast stew, a kind of Frenchy type, cassoulet type stew, that was easily the best thing I've had at Norwich since pre-Delia. So I'd just like to make
fair enough,
make
Neil.
a shout.
Okay, what we're going to vote? We've got to be very quick because we've got to fit in the celeries. What we're going to go for?
Willian goal.
Willian
Goal.
Willian on the benches.
Yeah.
Okay, Willian gets it. Well done, mate. Cracking goal. Love that. Right, finally, celery moment. I've got a few suggestions here. Chidge saying, "Why is Matter going off for Willian?" I think that was a bit of comedy. I thought the air shot by the Norwich player I absolutely laughed my head off for that. I thought Barr's shot into Rose Ed was truly awful and made me laugh. But in terms of serious things, there are two here. First of all is Jose's reaction to the Willian goal. He was on the bench, he was pumping he was so pumped up, he loved that. And I thought that was proper Chelsea. I love that. But I think I've got to save the best till last. And I know it's about the Bucharest game, Darren, and I know it breaks the rules, Darren, but it's so good it has to be mentioned. As Neil will tell us when we talk about the Bucharest game, it was very, very wet and very, very cold and a bit miserable out there. None more so than for our great mate, our tube driving Chelsea Fancast listener, the legendary Steve Byrne, who got into Bucharest. He's there. You see him. He was so cold at the game. Look at that. He's on the left, Neil, with the little
hoodie.
Yeah. He was not a happy boy. He was looking for the Chelsea supporters everywhere in Bucharest. Couldn't find them. He was wet through, soaked to the skin.
His hotel fell through when he got there.
His hotel fell through. They made him pay twice. He got there and they said you haven't paid, and he had. And he had to pay again. And he was tweeting saying, "Where is everybody? I'm really fed up. I'm really depressed.
I've never been so miserable in my life."
But he still made it to the game. And then afterwards, he went off and got absolutely drunk as a skunk with he found them all and had a great time and was tweeting. He said it was a terrible, terrible start, but I've had a brilliant time. And I think Steve deserves a mention for that. So out of all of that lot, or if any more, I don't mind. You've got about 2 minutes, so.
No, it's definitely got to be, well, the Norwich Air shot, in my opinion. In fact, it's 1-1. You were at 1-1. You sort of think we could still lose this, and then he goes in the box, and you think if he hits this well, we're going to be 2-1 down, and he obviously just completely messed it up. And at that time, when you're quite nervous, that's exactly what you want to see.
Bit of laughter.
Yeah, definitely.
Made me laugh.
Yeah,
definitely made me laugh. Pablo,
that was very funny. In fairness, I think we'll go with that.
You're going to go for that?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Steve Byrne because I just feel duty bound so to do because I love him to be. He is generally one of the nicest Chelsea supporters I've ever met. He's lovely and he deserves that. But Neil, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go for something completely different because it's very important when you're a supporter of a team that another team has an absolute disaster in the transfer market. And Van Wolfswinkel will be, and already is, a total disaster. And he went into the game having committed more fouls, or no one, equal most fouls. No one had committed more fouls than him in the Premier League.
That's right.
And in 2 minutes, he fouled David Luiz twice when David Luiz was coming out, and actually coming out with some danger, some purpose. He fouled him twice, and the second time Neil Swarbrick talked to him, and you could see him looking at him and thinking, "You're actually a total idiot. I'm not even going to book you for this because you're just a
You'll be proud of me." And I was on Talk Sport last Friday on the Sports Bar, and I called him. Well, so you should be. I called him Rip Van Winkle, which I thought was really, really good. So okay, so you're going for Rip Van Winkle, as we should call him.
Was it him who did the air shot?
No, I don't think it was.
Martin Olsen.
Was it Olsen? Olsen, who was man of the match according to Stan Collymore, which tells you everything you need to know about that Burke. So you're going for the air shot. You're going for the air shot. Mm-hmm. You're going for Rip Van Winkle. I'm going for Steve Byrne. What are the benches going for?
Bunsey.
Yeah, good on you, Garfield. Chad?
Terry Fisk here has said the Olsen air shot. Carl Bilsey has said that he thinks it was Jose's passion. And something that Paul Crowder's mentioned is that Willian's goal was a bit like Crespo versus Wigan or Shevchenko against Spurs. So
shout.
Very old Chelsea there.
Yeah. I think we're going to give it to the air shot. I think the air shot, definitely the air shot. Fair enough. All right, air shot gets it, in spite of the fact that me and Gaffer love Bunsey. And Bunsey, if you're listening or watching, we love you for that. Right, now, after the break, we are going to be looking back at the Steuer Bucharest game.